Hello guys, so today topic is why we should never update React state directly. So let us start the tutorial. So today I am talking about one rule in the React. Moreover, I am talking about the rule that why you cannot change this state directly. You are only allowed to change the state using state method, and while doing that we are not allowed to mutate or to change the old state, right? If you have programming React, you probably saw this rule already. However, what will happen if you violate this rule and well, something ever happened at all? In fact, but in my application, I just change the state, I update the state object in my code directly, and what happened? Nothing changed my application. Just work in a perfect way, exactly like it working before. So does it make sense at all to follow these rules or not? So the React will not prevent you from modifying the state directly, but it is something you should avoid if you want your component to behave in a predictable way. So see further. The reason why your examples work even with modifying state directly is that you call setState that lets React know it needs to update the component. Means the reason why your example work even with modifying state directly is that you call setState that lets React know it needs to update the component. Rather, we should always declare a new object with the help of const object and use this .setState object method and let React handle it just like I did in the example on the screen. But why? To have a grip on this matter, we first need to know how React lifecycle works. I already explained the lifecycle methods of React in my previous videos. You can check it out. The link is in description. So those who want a short answer can see this. So React has three lifecycle phases. First is mounting, updating phase, and unmounting phase. In first mounting phase, a component is mounted for the first time. It has three lifecycle hooks that we commonly use. First is constructor, render, and component did mount. I already explained all of that. And the second is updating phase. When the component is already mounted and a change in state or props has happened, it has two lifecycle hooks that we commonly use. First is render and second is component did update. Third one is the unmounting phase. When a component is deleted, it has one lifecycle hook that we commonly use, that is component will unmount. All these lifecycle hooks are called in order one by one. So in React, whenever a component is rendering either in the mounting phase or in updating phase, whatever was the phase, it always renders all the components that are in its tree. Consider that we have an app structure like this: app, navbar, counter. So when we run this app and if we declare all the lives, when we run this app and if we declare all the lifecycle hooks mentioned in the screen and console.log, in every hook we will see that the hooks are called in that order. First is the app constructor, app render, navbar render. This is for navbar is a stateless function component. Counter renders. Counter is a stateless functional component. Fourth is counter render. Counter is a stateless function component, and the sixth is app did mount. Now, if you do not know what is a stateless function component is, then it is a component that has no state or constructor or any lifecycle hook and are fully controlled by their parent. They only render a React component. So this is a stateless function component. So now, what happens when a state or process change? This question is comes. It renders all its components again. Notice I have said all the components are rendered again, not updated again. As you can see in the screenshot, only the incremented span is being updated. In the inspect element, you can see the change is violet color, so how it works. So React keeps a record of accomplishment of all its virtual DOM. Whenever a change happens, all the components are re-rendered and this new virtual DOM is then compared with the old virtual DOM, only the difference found and then reflected in the original DOM. So it's obvious from the statement that if we mutate the state directly, it will change the reference of the state in the previous virtual DOM as well. Therefore, React will not be able to see that there is a change of the state, so it will not be reflected in the original DOM until we reload. The problem is more obvious when we extend a component with React.PureComponent instead of React.Component, where React tries to optimize sometime but not rendering component if no changes are found, as I told in many videos. Also, mutating the state directly can lead to odd bugs and components that are hard to optimize. Hope you enjoyed this video and get your point. If you want to see more videos of React.js, then you can subscribe me on here and have any more questions left, please do not hesitate to put them in comment section. And if you like that video, press the like button and subscribe to my channel and motivate me to lot. So thank you very much for the watching me and see you in the upcoming videos.